as a teacher, I have a problem. I realized that my best filmmaking students graduate with great films, but whispering to me, I don't want to make films anymore. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The guy who is not talented is earning more money than me. I'm cursed with my own talent. I don't know where this is going. Sometimes you feel like you're going nowhere, and everything is not dependent on my skills, but somebody else's decision or what they see my value as. So the artist doesn't belong to himself. I want to be successful, you know, so much effort just to start. It's not about funding, all of this. How can filmmaking be less conditional, less dependent, and free for entanglement? How can filmmaking be more present, less fatigue, and made in the here and now? That was the question that I asked myself. To do that, I tried to turn to things that I was already familiar with. This whole Zen thing, I like, but cannot how to bring to filmmaking. So I tried to look not just only at the Zen text, but also from an applied Zen perspective. I read on Zen writings, on Zen literature from not just philosophers, theories, and scholars, but also neurologists, psychotherapists, psychologists, meditation teachers, wellness teachers, peace activists, Thich Nhat Hanh. I like Thich Nhat Hanh because he's not just a monk, a teacher in a temple. He was at the front of the war, right? And he had to do something about it. How do you be Zen in that space? So I extracted things that I could use. How can I apply it in the methodology? I extracted the term or concepts like minimalism, non-attachment, being in the here and the now. Quite self-explanatory, right? In order to make them more film, I researched on existing film movements. The Dogma 95, I think the cinema people here would recognize this. Dogma 95, Danish film movement in the 90s focused on the elimination of technology in search of cinematic truth, some kind of being against the Hollywood system so that they could tell something with European cinema. There's no wave cinema, people who understand the whole punk ethos, the punk rock ethos, the punk and bohemian ethos. They choose to go micro budget, low budget, and they try to take on the punk ethos to do anything that is subversive. Because I don't take anybody's money, I create things, explore the raw avant-garde libido fantasies, the raw values of the underground. There is also something else very different. All three are minimalist but very different. There's also the Romanian New Wave, for which I was inspired when I was there in Romania in 2019. And they are reacting against state propaganda. They have just survived communist rule, revolution, and for a long time they are caught up in this cloud propaganda. And in order to use state money, you only can make one kind of films. And in order to not use that money, they have to work with the minimalist. So they value authenticity. Everything is real, nothing is fictional. Everything is so real. So you have fantasy, real, you're standing up against Hollywood. Can the principles in Zen philosophy help us to create our own manifesto? Minimalism, non-attachment, being in the here and now. Can the philosophy change filmmaking? Can a filmmaker still make a film using Zen principles? And the other question is it still a film?